All right, so recently I've gotten a comment saying, hey, you've never played this game and you really want to play Air War, a hex-n-chit game, but I'm a miniature gamer. And so my miniature game friends and I have come together and decided to play a battle report worth of relatively simple Air War. Air War, initially designed in 1977, reprinted, the version I have, by TSR in 1983. This sucker, we have a PDF of the rules we're going to reference, we have this rulebook we're going to reference, and we're going to do it not with hex-n-chit on paper, we're going to do it with minis. I believe almost all of these are 3D printed, right?
That one is, and that one is.
All right, so those are 3D printed, and this one is Scotia Grendel MiG-21. So it's the only metal model on the table. I have metal weights underneath my stands, metal weights under those stands as well. See, we're going to be fighting a hypothetical game between two Soviet Su-15 interceptors armed with the original missiles, right? We didn't go with ACRIDs or AFIDs?
No, AA6 ACRIDs. I originally kitted them out with AFIDs. So AA6 ACRIDs, yes.
Okay, so they have the ACRIDs. Those are going to be going up against two Finnish fighters. We have a Finnish MiG-21 and a Finnish-owned Saab Draken, both of which appeared during the Cold War in the arsenals of Finland. There's not a lot more to say about that as far as the scenario goes. Air interception is the point. We're going to be dealing around. The camera doesn't catch the entire tableau either. The table has a little bit of hex space in that direction and a tiny bit of hex space in this direction, but the action here, for the most part, you'll be able to see.
There are a lot of great ideas going on in Air War, but the problem is that it's trying to be more educational than it needs to be. I did once test to actually join the Navy as a pilot, and I can tell you a lot of this stuff is 100% accurate, and it is it's really a good game for that. It tries really hard to explain itself in the most complex way they possibly can. So somebody who doesn't know anything about aircraft will probably never be able to pick this game up.
A lot of the older games, and I hate to say it, dead games, have a simulationist mindset. This is 2020, we have computers, we have video games for that. The old tabletop games used to have a very computer-like mindset to them. Look at this. This is a secondary rulebook that comes in the box set, and it says game charts, tables, aircraft, and missile performance charts, and it's a separate book. It's not even, I mean, look at this stuff. Radar, we're not even using jamming rules today at all. We're going to be using cannons. Now here's the, I showed you my custom thing in the last video, but here's a probability table. We don't even roll basic dice. We roll a D6 against this damn thing. Hilarious, right? We have cannon-based probability. It's not even rolled like a basic dice. It's literally just you roll against a chart, and lo and behold, the damage is on a different chart per type. Every modern war game has a cannon that has the ranges, the hit probabilities, the damage output, and any special rule associated in one nice thin line that can then fall in line with the statistics for the aircraft that weapon is strapped to. A lot of old dead games are math textbooks. Like the game we're playing today, it's pretty much math class for all of us. So
what I like about it is that it covers that altitude, attitude, which way is your nose pointing, and energy theory. Actually, the way it handles it's the 12-point facing system. You've got your hexes, whatever, but instead of normal hex-based games where you only have 6 facings, it actually handles movement and its facing system from 12 points, where these little intersecting points are also a direction you can move and face. And I think that's actually a great system that more games should be using.
There's also some things that are funny. Recent declassified information. I'm going to be piloting a Saab Draken. It can perform the Cobra maneuver, but not in this game. And the Draken was the first plane to do it properly without thrust vectoring. That's another thing I got to point out. Funny thing about Finland. Finland was forced to buy from Russia to fill its military budget. Little did Russia know that Finland always put into its military planning possible conflict for the USSR. So if you want to ever fly Soviet equipment versus Soviet equipment, Finland versus Soviet Union is an extremely legitimate conflict for you.
No, you're facing the Finnish, so you're facing literally the worst nightmare of the Russians.
Oh, do the clouds speak Finnish?
The clouds may just speak Finnish here, who knows? This is a complex game. I'm going to be happy if we just push planes around the field and shoot missiles at something. I'm not even looking to kill my opponents. I'm looking to have some fun today. We rolled initiative, a mighty 7, was it 6 for the Soviets?
A mighty 6.
Alright, 6 for the Soviets. I got a measly 4. The Finns have heat-seeking weapons. So yeah, I have the 2 Sidewinders. Su-15s are weird aircraft. They have the exact same missile. That's the ANAB, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of each. One of them is a radar homing missile. One of them is a heat-seeking missile. And the probability of failure for those missiles is a 7.
Well,
but that's not a 7 you roll on the dice. It's a 7 that you roll on the chart. So you have an active missile that you fired, an ANAB that is actually going to be streaking across the table here.
Yes.
Does it move first?
We will get to that.
I notice how the board looks really empty right now. That's because on the edge of the board, the radar homing missile launched from way the hell over there. There's the missile. I have no idea which aircraft it's locking onto, but that aircraft is very unfortunate.
I'm going to shoot at the Draken because it's scary looking.
Oh, there's a minimum launch range on the missiles?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guess what I forgot. Why is it actually asking for a minimum launch range that's so damn long?
Okay, if the missile does not malfunction, a heat-seeking or radar homing missile counter is placed on the game map, which we done did.
See? The Draken has a missile targeting it. Isn't that funny? The missile's actually its own aircraft, so it takes up one of the aircraft spots.
Yeah.
I guess you'll never be able to run a game of Air War that has more aircraft and missiles than 16.
You know, I have no idea what that minimum range thing is. It doesn't mention it.
Also makes me wonder, why the hell would a radar missile have such a large minimum range from the front? I mean, the front is where most of the radar returns do come from the side. But the sad thing is that you can engage with radar guided missiles to the front. It happens all the damn time.
My inclination is that is an optional rule that I am misunderstanding. So now we move on to the disadvantaged aircraft movement phase. The first player, no one's disadvantaged. So we're just going to skip this part and say that this is the normal aircraft movement phase because there won't be an advantaged one afterwards either.
We've got a 4 for initiative over here. I think we move first. Did you want to move the MiG first, or do you want to move the Draken first?
Let's move the big first so I can actually learn how to do this.
The first player, yes, so first player, I want you guys to move first.
By the way, when do we play with our throttle settings and such? Because you know
That
what?
happens now.
Cool. How fast can you want to do?
Go fast!
Yeah, we want to jank our throttles, man. We want to get the hell out of here.
So,
If we just sit here on the very edge, we're going to be toast for any kind of incoming missiles, and I've already got one coming my way. I see the maximum throttle on my Draken at low altitude is 6. I was cruising around at 4. That doesn't sound too much fun, so I'm going to yank that all the way up to 6.
Okay.
So,
also, how do you change altitude in this?
We'll get to that in a
we
minute.
climb.
There are 3 types of climbs, Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3. Type 3 being the steepest, though not all aircraft are able to perform Type 3 climbs.
Climb tables are per aircraft. So you look at the chart on your character sheet to see how far the aircraft can climb. At low altitude with a movement allowance of 4 or 6. Yeah, I have some suffering here. In the rule book it says there's like 30 degree points per turn, so if you move through hexes, you gain points going through hexes until you reach 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here on your turning on the chart, it has a 0. And this is not like, this tells you what degree you're at, but it doesn't tell me how many hex points you go through. What are you going to do, like collect dice that, have the certain number or something? It doesn't have anything that relates to the idea of going through hexes to collect the movement points you need to turn. It has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has the different degrees located, but it doesn't really have it's more precise than it needs to be on this thing. This may have been, this thing that may have reached production may have actually been in a more complex alpha version of the game than the thing they released to the public. I want to climb. I want to get stuff taken care of here. We figured out how climbing works. Yes, we're trying to figure out this because we had some confusion about the rules. So this is my movement allowance. I put my throttle to 6, so here I'm stuck at 6. I can do a Type 1 climb, a Type 2 climb, or a Type 3 climb. The question is, how steep do I want to be? And this is the amount of levels I can jump up the altitude rating based on my movement allowance. So I can pick how many levels I want to rise. I have a movement allowance that is stuck, like my throttle's at 6 right now, so that's where I'm at. And if you notice, I can't really push farther than that. It's a limitation of being at low altitude. But I can do a shallow increase of 2 levels and have 4 hexes forward. I can do a shallow increase of a medium increase of 4 levels and move just 2 hexes, or one hell of an increase and move forward 2 hexes. You know what? I like the idea of moving forward so you can actually see my aircraft. So I'm probably going to do a more shallow move and move 4 hexes forward but 2 hexes up. That may not help me when it comes to debating against the missile that's incoming, but I'm going to try. It's very simple. I now have 4 hexes to move instead of 6 because I'm climbing 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I've gained, and now we do gain turn points based on how many hexes we move through, right?
Yes.
So I went through 4 hexes.
Let me show you how that works.
I know how it works. I love turning radiuses. So I moved. I have a speed rating of 6. I'm at low altitude. So for each hex
right
I
now your
moved.
movement allowance is less because you.
Oh, that's right. But still 2. Notice how the numbers are the same? Yay! I love that. Having a good engine is great. So whether it's 4 or whether it's 6. So if I move 4 hexes as opposed to 6, it's 2 points of maneuver.
Or 2 degrees basically. Or
2 degrees basically. Wow. Through every... That's sluggish. It makes me feel like I'm driving a truck instead of a fighter jet. 2 per hex I went through. I went through 4 hexes, so 4 times 2, 8. So it's a 30 degree turn, isn't it?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. I have so many... I better start accumulating those points like mad.
You better get turning.
Man, because otherwise... Is this the game of flying straight forward? Well, I think this game is designed... You know what this game is designed for? You play it on the smallest hex paper possible, because you then cover the table.
Look at the original map sheet, right? Like people have seen in the other video, the map sheets are the hexes are teeny tiny.
Yeah, hexes are like that big, yeah. And so on a table like this, I thought going from like the size of a, because the map sheets are like that, right? They fold out to like this big, right? Moving to a table would be good, right? I guess you're supposed to cover the table in map sheets. Oh well. So let's play. Let's see how this turns out.
Apparently jets weren't paying attention when the enemy was in their sight, and they're like, "Comrade, there are jets." No, there's not. You're joking. It's not jet. No, comrade, that's jet.
So we have this horrible instance in which we may have scaled the miniatures wrong. We may want to play this, because this is like what, a 4x5?
It's close to, I think it's 4x5.
4x5. And we may want to play this on like a 6x10. Covered in hexes. So I may need 2 of these maps to properly scale the game. Insane, wouldn't it be? Holy shit. Well, anyway, I'm gonna...
Are you in trouble?
Well, I'm in trouble because I've moved like, what, 8 degrees worth on a 30-degree turn to try to even start banking. And I've gotten like up on the board. So here I am in the corner, slowly. Well, I'm moving at like what, several hundred miles per hour at this point, right?
Yeah.
But you know, on the table, I just to that point, and I'm climbing.
You're making a sharp climb too. So.
Well, not really sharp. Actually, I took the shallow ones because
yeah.
I remember last for I went up 2 levels. Big 21.
Okay.
Go forth for the Finland.
So I have a speed of
things.
7, and I'm planning on doing this one, which I think is the sharpest climb right here.
So you'll move 3 hexes forward, and then you'll gain 5 levels. So move 3 hexes forward. Be right here.
Okay.
Boinkus. Okay. But your aircraft is actually moving up like that. See, our altitude is at 5,000 feet, so we're at level 20 right now. How many levels did you go decide to climb by? Was it 6 or 7, was it?
I went to speed 7 and climbed 5 levels.
Climbed 5 levels. So the guy goes from a 20, climbing 5, that adds 1,250 to his altitude. So now his altitude is at 6,250. He's much higher than my aircraft now. He only moved forward 3 hexes, but that's because he piled it on. Huh.
Yes, the missile needs to follow you.
Oh boy. So the missile over there is preparing to do nasty things. Isn't that a reloading bullet?
Yes.
So, 9mm reload bullet to be fired at my Draken.
I think these are 45s actually. I think.
I can measure it later and find out. Who cares? Just throw bullet at enemy. He dies. I think missiles move pretty fast after like a turn, but in the first turn they're still firing up. Don't know.
So I'm looking at a max move allowance of 16.
There you go, man. 16 hexes forward. It's a missile.
So let's go up 11 levels and reduce it by 5. Let's go.
Okay.
So that would be 11 forward. And then its altitude will go up by 5.
Had that thing been mad dogged, it would probably lock onto the MiG, because I don't know if I am at the altitude you're aiming at right now. Remember, I'm at 5,500 feet. You're at what, 6,125 feet or some shit like that?
6,250. So the thing with Mad Dog is it's with 100% radar-guided missiles. If I'm not mistaken, these are semi-guided missiles, which means they require...
It has to paint the target.
Yeah, the parent craft has to paint the target, so it can't Mad Dog, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 7, and I'm actually... Well, if I'm going 7 and low, that's 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30.
Oh shit, he turned. He turned before we did.
Shit.
Ah.
Now, if I wanted to climb, though, because I was thinking of trying to climb, but I'm not sure if that's a great plan.
So we have discovered a few things about how the game progresses. It's time for turn 2's initiative. Finland will roll. Go ahead. I see a 6.
Or 6, yes. My math is
Ho ho!
I see a 6 as well. What happens on a tie?
You roll again.
Let's roll again. Right there, guys. 6 for the... 8 for Finland. Finland is now showing its power.
Yeah.
Well, my throttle is going to be stuck at 6 then, because of reasons. Go for it, Russia. Let's see what you got.
Ho ho! I am going to proceed moving as fast as possible and climbing very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How many turn points was that?
Hold on, actually, I need to do this correctly. So I already have 5.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So 10, 15, 20, 25,
30. That's where you can turn. Okay, so you turn there.
and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
About 6 hexes worth of movement. How much movement do you have left after 6 hexes? It's 6, right?
6, 7, so I can go.
Yeah. All right.
I actually would rather just stay in that base.
Please don't fly off the table.
Yeah, not gonna fly off the table. By the way, when you are doing cross line movement into a point like this, you always move into the front hex to your right first.
Oh. So those guys have split. And I'm guessing the radar missile moves last?
The radar missile moves. It is after everybody moves.
Do you want to do your climb? Let's see the MiG climb.
Okay, the MiG is literally going to repeat the same thing it did last turn. It is going up another 5 levels.
Which brings you to... That brings you to the next level 10, doesn't it?
Yep. I am now at 75,000 feet.
Oh, I need to leave a marker because my missile has been in flight for 1 turn. That
Yes.
means it has...
Like 7 more turns to go?
It
then?
has 6 turns to live. It has...
Well, hopefully it dies before it hits me.
So one thing I'd like to point out, on a more realistic scale, if that truly was a Fox 1, i.e. a semi-guided radar missile,
Yeah.
his plane would still have to be pointing at your plane to maintain that. It'd probably just start flying straight.
It'll be flying straight until you repaint me.
Oh, fantastic. That's going to happen.
You know what? Repeating the same thing we did last turn sounds like a good idea for as far as climbs are concerned. But look at the shit I'm getting as far as, turn radius. It's like you're going to be out turning me and getting behind me before I can do anything about that. So I want to fix that before it becomes a problem. My throttle's at 6. My movement allowance is at 6. I'm at low altitude. It's still 2. Whether I'm pointing my air... Why is the Draken not maneuverable? That thing can perform the Cobra maneuver. But here I am, trying to gain points.
You gotta remember this is in 2.5 second increments.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward so at least I qualify for those hexes.
That's a great plan.
So I go from having 8 points to, 6 by 2, that's 12, 8 plus 12. Look, I made 20 points. So here I am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in the game of flying straight. So here I am. Now the missile target I'm going to put behind me because I'm no longer painted, but I know I'm the intended target of that missile.
Yup.
And weirdly enough, what altitude is the missile at right now?
It is at right now at an altitude of 25. It is.
So it's at 7,500 too.
Yeah, 7,250 actually. No, 6,250. 6250, yes.
6250?
I'm using altitude levels.
I'm under the missile. I'm under the missile.
You are under the missile. That was the intended, though.
Because now I'm flying level, and now if I'm at 5,500, and the missile's at 6,000 something, the missile is probably pointed up a little bit, and I'm pointed level. So unless it's not a radar guided internal missile, it has to pick up radar signals.
Sure does.
So if I get too close to that missile, it won't be pointed at me anymore.
Yep. So you should
I think
probably
flying
run.
straight sounds good.
That does sound like a great plan.
In fact, I wish my throttle could go higher at this altitude. Gee, I wish I could climb and gain altitude so I can have a free throttle.
It's almost like you can.
I can, but I'm not going forward as much. And if I raise my altitude, I'll be having the missile pointing at my belly. So I have this weird catch-22 where it actually makes sense for me to just fly straight and low like a
Kind
dumbass.
of my intention, almost.
Yeah, to trap me underneath the missile. Okay, there's your fine strategy there.
Moves forward as fast as possible. Which means it's going to move forward 16 hexes. Which means...
Well,
I think that's going to miss.
its altitude is...
Its altitude is 25. I wonder, how far does a missile have to be from you before it damages your plane? Let's find out.
I'm at 22, so I'm literally 3 levels below that missile. And that missile is now in my face.
Well, it's flying above you is what you're saying. I'm pretty sure that missile's going to miss you.
Yeah.
However, I need to know missile combat. Okay.
Yes, yes.
If a missile moves through a hex containing its target aircraft at the same level as its target at any time during its movement, the target is considered destroyed. If a missile moves through a hex containing any aircraft other than its target...
Wait. All it has to do is move through the hex to destroy it? It doesn't even do an attack roll?
No.
Holy shit.
But it has to be at the same level.
So that thing is 3 levels above me.
It's
So I am safe from immediate destruction without an attack roll. Those things don't get an attack roll?
if a missile moves through a hex containing any aircraft other than anything happens. Nothing happens. The aircraft is not considered destroyed. If a missile destroys its target, it's removed from play.
Well, I know how that. Yeah, I know how destroyed targets get removed from play. But so in this game, there's not even an attack roll. You just move the missile into the enemy aircraft, and poof, is gone.
Yes.
Son of a bitch!
You fucking die.
I am so glad you decided to bank with that radar-guided missile. So that thing was going to kill me.
I mean, here's the thing. If I had gone slightly lower than I had originally intended, you would have fucking died.
I think you have to manually evade in this game is what it is.
Yes, you do.
And I think chaff is a special rule we haven't modified on any of our
Yeah, chaff. I didn't see any chaff on any of these.
So
Oh, shit.
for chaff is good against radar. Flares are good against IR.
I know that part, but the thing is that it's a special rule in this game. You have to like study it and then choose to attach it onto your plane somehow.
Ah, heat-seeking missiles are an exception on destruction of aircraft.
How's that?
If a heat-seeking missile is to destroy its target, it must enter the same hex as its target from the rear. If the target is facing toward a hex side, the missile must enter from one of the 3 rear hex sides. If the target is facing towards a hex juncture, it must enter from one of the 2 rear hex sides.
So it can't destroy from the front.
It cannot destroy from the front.
I rolled last time. It's your turn to roll.
Okay, I'll roll initiative. You got a 9. I can't beat that unless I roll really high. Guess what I don't do? I don't roll really high.
You're busy not being hit by a missile.
Yeah.
Busy.
I don't know. What do Finnish do? I know Russians drink vodka. I think Finnish drink vodka too.
That entire area drinks vodka.
Yeah, it's like vodka is like the actual substitute for water in that section of the world. We've got 2 flanking Su-15s, a Draken that wishes it was fast and maneuverable, and a climbing MiG. We also have a missile that is still on the board, still flying, but targeting nothing. And my initiative has gone to shit. I got 20 points, right? Moving 6 more will give me 12 more points.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, I can actually turn. We're going to pass the missile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plus 20 is 30. I can then move to the hex juncture. and follow this evil MiG.
Why on earth are you turning so slow?
No shit, I'm wondering it myself. It's like this thing has no ability to freaking turn. It's a Draken. It was noted
Aren't
for
you
its
able to
maneuverability.
turn faster if you...
I wonder if the roll rate rules, I bet the roll rate rules figure into increasing the amount or putting a multiplier on the amount you can actually turn
the
by.
banking or...
Yeah, banking. Because here's how, in the real world, aircraft turn as follows. They don't just turn like a car.
Yeah, they
flip,
turn and then do that.
They flip to the side they want to roll to, and they pull up on the stick, which is the equivalent of turning. So there's got to be something in here where, since this being as complex a game as it is, I think I've been turning with my rudder. I should be able to turn with a roll quite a bit faster.
If an aircraft is turning and is not vertical, i.e. it's banked at 45 or a 135 degree angle, and its movement allowance is 4 or greater, its turn mode is somewhat greater than the turn mode chart of the aircraft indicates. If the aircraft's turn mode indicates that it has a turn mode of 6 or less, under these circumstances 1 is added to its turn mode.
1?
1 more, yes. If it has a turn mode between 7 and 12, 2 is added to the turn mode. And if a turn mode of 13 or more, 3 is added to turn mode.
Okay. So there's an incremental chart that should be on a quick play guide somewhere.
There should be, huh?
Yeah. So I guess I can roll 3 points per each movement point that I move. How is it that the Draken has a movement points allotment of 0, where it can then roll 1 to 2 points on the roll chart? I thought aircraft have to constantly be in motion.
They do.
Do you have to spend movement points to roll?
Yes.
So that's why a 0 is there, which means I can still roll without spending movement points.
Absolutely.
So I just rolled there so I can get more movement allotment points. And I only moved forward, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes. So I go to the right, you said, right? The right. And so I gain, because I'm rolled now, I gain, instead of 2 points per, I'll gain 3 points per, right? It still feels like I'm trying to milk the stone for every little bit.
For some reason, they seem to think the Draken's not a very maneuverable craft.
We must be misinterpreting the rules somewhere. This is one of those games where you have to have like a Bible study.
This is going to go off the board.
Yeah, it travels off in that direction and then has a happy firework moment
in
over
order
there.
for me, because I was thinking if I could be a dick and lock it back onto Alex.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the lock-on segment is before the movement, and so it's just going to...
I moved first, right?
Yes.
I think the other Finn can move too.
Yes.
Mig, let's see that climb occur.
Yeah, I'm still doing that climb, so it's just moving another 3. Putting me back up another 1,200.
Danger zone!
You... Ah!
Yeah. As steep as he can, he's like,
Why were we
fuck forward movement, I want sky!
Why were we flying so low?
It's like coming in at 5,000 feet isn't like underneath tactical radars, but it makes really good sense if you're trying to avoid like Kremlin high command. If the Flagons were trying to cause harassment and interdiction at low levels, sending these guys in at 5,000 feet makes a little bit of sense. Flying in at 15,000 feet, everybody's going to see you.
So I'm rolling at a 45 degree coming around this way now. Was I climbing? Yes, still climbing by 1. We're doing a slow climb because that's how we do things in the motherland.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling straight vertical. I'm probably something more like a 45 at the moment.
Yeah. It is noted in history that pilots usually feel like the degree is steeper when they're making the maneuver. You probably felt like you were pulling your head into your ass, but you were probably going like 60 degrees up.
So
Yeah.
I've moved.
Exactly.
I think it's initiative again.
I think it's initiative again. I'm going to switch up my dice. I hate to say it. I have failed horribly.
Okay, I rolled a 9 again.
Okay. I will roll for our side.
That's a 7.
Yeah.
Are we low again?
Yeah.
However, somebody may actually be disadvantaged on this board.
I am not in your rear arc.
No, but I am in your front arc.
Ooh.
So if you go, let me see, you're facing this.
Yes.
I believe I am...
You're just inside my front arc. I have to turn to catch
So
you.
I am disadvantaged here. Am I in Alex's other front arc? No.
How does the front arc work? What's the...
So in this case, it goes out, up, out, up, out, up, out, Oh, you got me. So I'm disadvantaged on all my planes. So regardless of whether I won initiative, even though I won initiative, I'm actually moving first. We have an interesting situation with this game where your initiative is irrelevant to when you decide to move.
Your planes technically can maneuver better than ours, from what we've seen, and you could potentially turn this to your advantage.
I potentially could. I think what it is my planes move better in altitude, or like in low altitude,
Okay.
whereas you guys are more high altitude fighters.
Got it.
Which is why he is pulling the stick back and
Getting that altitude, yeah. Plus, looking down on your enemies when you're in an air combat situation is a good thing.
The one downside to hex-grid movement is that cross-grain movement, unfortunately.
It balances out in the end. That's why hexes are more circular than squares.
oh, and yeah, I am not launching missiles. I don't think any of us were. We're at maximum throttle.
I'm still burning along at throttle of 6. Yeah, what the hell is with this, man? It's like I can't turn at low altitudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still pointed this way. That's what, 12 extra points? So I'm at 14. 14 out of 30. I'm halfway there. Go get him, little guy. You can do it. Get him.
If we were in high atmosphere, you would have killed me by now. This would have been very bad.
Yes. Go up there in the clouds and just beat the shit out of things.
Go Mig go.
Okay, to everybody's surprise, I am climbing again.
Oh, what a shocker.
And that
Are you
actually-
doing a climb 3?
Yeah.
He's just...
That actually puts me up to 10,000 feet now.
Wait, your altitude level's changed.
Yes.
Yes.
What's 10,000 feet again?
10,000 feet
Is
is
4.
Yeah, is
Or
40. So he's doubled. He's way higher than us right now.
So there's that chart that tells you what level the altitude groupings are at. Because that
the altitude
thing is a
groupings,
godsend.
it's 61 is where low stops.
I am just going to be sucking unless I actually get my ass up in the clouds like my boy over here is.
He's like, dude, what you doing, man?
Something that's not working too well. I guess I'm going to just fly in this small straight curve until I get off the board.
Funny enough, I am now at the altitude that was hard for World War II aircraft to function at.
All right.
Has anybody not moved?
I've moved. And you've moved, right?
I believe so.
Initiative.
think I've
Nobody
moved.
is advantaged over each other this time, no?
Yeah, because we've all left each other's envelopes. Do I roll?
Sure.
Oh my god, I'm switching dice again. Fuck it. I completely cannot roll for initiative this turn.
You should move, comrade.
Dude, this Draken is holding down the team.
I think what it was is you guys didn't expect to find suddenly Russians at 5,000 feet.
I'll move. 1, 2. So I only gain 4 points of movement, but I don't care because I went up 6 levels.
Holy frig.
Ah, there's the maneuverability we're talking about.
That thing
I can't do that.
That thing climbs faster than I do.
And I'm going to, because guess what I want to do? I want to get away from the nice spongy atmosphere. That atmosphere is fucking my shit. If I stay down here at the 500 foot level, I'm done. So now I'm at 7,750 feet in one go.
Let me guess. Climbing?
No, actually. Let's see here. Let me think about that.
How many points of maneuver have you accumulated all this time?
So,
He doesn't get any energy when he's climbing.
But you still accumulate maneuver points.
well, if we count all 4 turns that I've done this so far,
Yes.
I should have 24 points right now. You know what? I'm going to do that while still climbing. So I'm going to go 3 and that way.
So you're facing the line.
Yep, but I also go up another 5.
This guy, so he's going up 9 levels?
Yes. That guy went up 9 levels and moved forward 2 hexes.
Well, we've all decided to play this nice game of altitude. It's the new win.
I was gonna do it where one went down and one went up, but you both started climbing, so...
That Draken now has more to worry about because you'll be behind me soon enough. You've done your movement. It's now our turn to do movement, right?
Yes.
I think I just climbed 2 more hexes.
Yeah, just as I suspected, this game is way simpler than it presents itself as. This
1, 2. and 6 more levels, right? Boink! So I've changed my attitude toward a positive one. Positive altitude. You already did your climb trick or no? Did you move this turn?
Yes, I did. Isn't this the turn that I turned that way?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, alright. So more initiative.
Yes,
Did you
more
roll initiative again?
Nope.
Alright, go for it, guys. I'm seeing a son of a bitch. We can't win initiative, can we?
Nope, and you're going first. And
Oh boy. I'm gonna make this simple. 1, 2. We've probably accumulated some more points. That's what? I've been doing that for 2 turns. That's what? 8 points. I'm not gonna worry about it too much, but I went up 6 levels. 1,100 feet.
oh my.
Are you sure low altitude is 61 levels?
It says 61 levels.
Son of a bitch. Where's high altitude again?
Oh,
Up there?
HI?
Yes.
Like high altitude?
Like so high, it's been smoking something for a while.
140 or higher.
140 levels?
Yeah, 140 levels or higher, and I'm sure there's a limit. Can't fucking go to space.
Maximum altitude is on the sheet somewhere. 240. So my ceiling is 240. So I can be 100 levels past high altitude.
Yes.
I know where my playground is.
Yeah, mine's not up there, and I would love it if you would stay the fuck right here.
My ceiling is 251. What was yours again?
240. You are the high altitude aircraft between the two of us. Like I said, MiG-21s are technically better in this game.
Guess we need to move again.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, move again, man.
Oh, that's 1, 2, 3 to nobody's surprise. I am now at 12,500 feet.
All right, now that you've moved, 1, 2, 1, 2, and both of them are rising 9 levels. Also putting our brains in our asses.
This is the fun part where the Sukhois say, yes, we can climb too.
Do initiative, I'm assuming.
Did you move everything?
I did.
Sweet. Level climbing, I assume.
We are climbing hardcore because we are not letting you leave low atmosphere, bitch.
Okay. It's the climbing game. I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 7.
We have initiative once. You get to move first, and I get to laugh at you.
Guess what's happening?
What?
Climbing.
The Russian pilots have decided they're not going to let the Finns do this game.
Yes.
1, 2. This Russian plane, we're looking at our altitude. This thing can, at low altitude, it's got some maneuver points. It can move at 9 hexes per and gain 6 maneuver points per hex. This thing can dogfight a little bit at low altitude, and it's the Su-15. It's designed as a high altitude interceptor. In fact, the trivia behind this boy, this thing has killed more civilian airliners than any other kind of fighter aircraft. That's this thing's claim to fame. It shoots down civilian airliners. So God knows this thing is just made for war crimes, and it's not made for actual dogfighting.
Don't worry, we'll commit more crimes. Don't you worry.
You know what? This little bitch is being a problem right now, and there's no way to stop him. Here, you can have your Su-15 back. We'll find some Korean airliners to be your actual opponent in the future.
Oh, God. Time for initiative.
More initiative.
That's an 8.
7. We cannot beat initiative, can we?
Just because everybody knows it's coming, and there is the MiG-21, and now at 15,000 feet. One more turn of climbing, and I will be solidly in the next altitude bracket.
I still have a way to go. I might actually rumble off the table by accident. 1, 2, but my God, am I raising altitude? So I'm at 56. I think 2 more turns of this, and I'll actually be able to have a different performance envelope for my aircraft. I have been Type 3 climbing for... There's where the maneuverability of the Draken is. I can make all these special maneuvers that flip me around easier than everybody else can. Well, congratulations. I'm going to start doing that instead of flopping around like a fish. I've moved and gained altitude, but not been smart about it.
Okay, I'm going to do an Immelman. 2 Immelmans, in fact.
Oh boy. I can imagine you're wanting to flip over so you can face off against this enemy of yours.
I want to shoot you in the butthole. Through the movement phase in which the aircraft performs, Immelman is considered to be executing a Type 3 climb. The aircraft is moved at least half its movement allowance, then turns anywhere from 1 to 6 hex points. So 1, because my movement allowance in a Type 3 climb is 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bitch!
Oh, it moves at least half its movement allowance. Then I turn, then I have to spend that other... I need to spend up to half, which doesn't matter because that other half's going to get spent on this.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, Immelman will return you to level flight at the end of it.
Yes. So I'm considered having done a Type 3 climb,
Yes.
which brings me up 9 levels.
Alright, yeah.
So basically I'm just going to do the same thing here.
Some bitch. Yeah, I think the Russians are about to win this one.
I have a plan.
I have a plan too.
In fact, it's the same plan that I started with. It's just I'm going to be executing it next turn.
What am I thinking? I've been banking all this time. I should have some altitude. No, wait, I switched out my banking to climb. That's right.
Okay, so now it is a new turn. We're not going to immediately roll initiative because I need to make sure that that's what we actually need to be doing. Do I has you in my cone?
I think you have both of us in your cones and we neither you. So we are both disadvantaged and we get to go first, essentially.
Regardless of initiative. However, initiative might still matter because of missiles. So 7.
I thought I was rolling this time.
Oh, sorry.
If you want to roll, you can, because look at what I just rolled. You go first, big man.
So it's my final turn of climbing. Aim to put me at 16,250
Waking up after having
feet.
done it for like 3 turns.
And I have been doing nothing but climbing this game.
I'm going to do my missile launch. Would you guys like to launch missiles? Probably not.
We can't see you.
I honestly don't know if I have any missiles going back.
I have to move still, right?
No, missile launch happens before movement.
But I just moved.
Where were you at?
Back 3.
So sorry, missiles happen before movement.
Yeah.
So I will just mark that what my altitude will be. So this is the last radar missiles?
No, this is a heat-seeking one.
Okay, so wait, they only had 2 missiles, 1 heat-seeking and 1 radar.
Yes.
Welcome to having crappy aircraft from the Cold War.
Even though I know for a fact from the little research I did that I can carry 4, and I in fact modeled them that way.
If I recall correctly, there are 4th generation fighters out there that can carry upwards of like 18 missiles on them. Fuck.
Those are probably like Russian flankers. They're just loaded down with little shitty missiles.
I believe the F-18 Super Hornet can do it as well.
Yay! I like the Super Hornet. I'm glad to hear that it's a good plane.
Alright, missile malfunction on these little pieces of shit.
Malfunction.
Probably a malfunction is a 7. So 2 or a 7.
Yeah.
Him. We're good. Him. Mother.
I am not a missile target. I could survive. You know, I feel good though because I'm not going to die through instant movement phase.
All right, disadvantaged aircraft movement. Go.
You first or me first?
I will just go back to where I was.
I'm going to give you some fun here. I'm going to move forward 1 hex. You want to see this?
Well, missile has to move first because he moved.
Okay, got it.
So I'm taking care of that first.
Oh,
But
I see it.
I will watch you because I don't think that's going to impact what's about to happen.
So I moved forward 1 hex, as you can remember happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I swing around.
Oh,
Good old Immelman.
I guess it's time for us to get some rockin' sockin' planes over here.
Yep, it's going to be gun combat here eventually. And I gained 9 levels. 1, 2, 3. No, not 9 level 6. I'm at 62. I'm actually at the next altitude bracket. I have stats again.
You're gonna launch a missile at me.
No, I have heat seekers. I have to be up your butt. We're going to tangle first. My plane has turned around. Missiles and fun shit is happening over there. Yeah. I'm going to throw out my lunch and do that. How are we at?
And I'm gonna stay at this altitude, I think. No, I have to do level flight this turn.
So what altitude is that missile at right now?
That altitude is at your altitude.
Okay. Okay. So now initiative.
Yeah, let's see that initiative actually roll.
Damn you.
The Finns roll a 12 for initiative for once in their damned lives. We are definitely going, well, on higher initiative. So how does it go? We have a disadvantaged Finn MiG-21 over here. What level is he at?
He is at the same level as this missile, which is at 65.
Oh shit.
I am 5 levels below them. He's also sitting at 60.
Okay.
I don't know what level you're at.
62. I'm above you.
We're kind of just staying at the top of that low level.
You just pulled an Immelman, I just pulled an Immelman. We're literally facing off at this
So
level.
these two are going to get hot and heavy up in east.
Moving forward and using guns sounds fun at this point, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Well, I do throttle up to 8 this time.
Yes. What am I?
And before I move, I am going to do a split S.
So now I actually want to pay attention to what you're doing here. So must begin its movement phase inverted. So are you inverted?
Can I start the turn inverted?
You have to spend a point to be inverted. I'm going to assume you did, though.
Yeah.
How about that? I'm not going to be a
1
dick
to
about
3
it.
is 0, points 1 is 4 to 5.
Yeah. Having movement points 0 and having roll points is actually pretty good because it means you get to roll for free. Let me show you how a split S kind of works. So a split S
Well,
works
hold
if
on.
your
Let
aircraft,
me read your...
your aircraft dives, and then if you invert, you can pull through it. That's a split S right there. Well, here's the problem. You were climbing though, right?
He was climbing.
You have to go to at least level flight, and then from level flight you can go into a
'cause
push
right
through.
now you are
Actually,
in a
no,
climb.
I haven't moved this turn, so I throttled up. I don't necessarily have to climb this turn.
No, you don't. You can level out.
So level out, flip over, and then
Yes.
So within 2 turns you can have that split S pretty much on its way. Bring that sheet over here. Let's show this.
okay.
Literally.
Well, my thoughts were to do the split S and use the rest of my energy to go in the opposite direction. Was my original thought. So how I'm guessing I can't do that.
What altitude, what direction were you at last turn though? You were doing what with your airplane?
Last turn I was still in my climb.
This turn you have to level out and do stuff. Or once you level out you can then start a push through.
Because the rules say you can't go from a climb to a dive, you have to go climb,
Level
level
out.
out, and then dive. You have to...
If you have enough move you can do it all at the same time though. What's your move allowance right now? 7 or more?
I'm at 8.
8's good. 8 hexes away from that missile is a good place to be.
Yeah, but
Might not be far enough.
no, the whole idea that I had was just level out, turn, and flip back in this direction, hopefully, and fly past the missile before it moved. So I just pulled an Immelman and came back like a hex just so I could try to break the lock of this missile and put me into a position where I might be able to get my guns on this bird.
The only good thing is that it's a heat-seeking missile, so it can't destroy him from the front. The automatic destruction rule about heat-seeking missiles only comes from the back guard.
By the way, your level still goes up the same as if you had done
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, it still counts as level 3, so we're all gaining altitude here like a bunch of madmen. Well, not these two. These two are facing off. But yeah, over here.
And I just gained 4 altitude, if I recall correctly.
Unfortunately, that missile is going to lose its lock. Oh, I know what's going to happen.
What?
I'm going to Burt.
You're going to move up to the thing and try to shoot him? Are you at the same level?
I will be soon. Okay, so the missile has to move right now because he moved.
Okay.
So the missile might be able to stay in his aft. Let's see. Wait, what did I have? 15. 1, 2, 3. Turn hex face. God damn it. 4, 5, 6. Turn hex face. And there's no way. So when I end, the cone of the missile is going to be this direction. Heat-seeking missiles work with cone, right?
Yeah.
So this missile's removed.
All missiles fired, none of them effective. Wait, we haven't
Still
fired
have
any.
missiles.
We haven't fired any heat-seeking missiles at all this game.
Nope.
My option is to Burt. And Burt I shall. So I moved.
You already moved?
Or no, I have not moved. You guys moved, right?
Yeah.
You moved?
Wait, no, he just did his element. I have to do my thing.
Yes, you have to
I'm in
do
level
your thing.
flight. Wait, I'm in level flight and I have shit tons of movement,
Did
don't
we
I?
win the initiative on that one?
You won initiative,
Yeah.
So I moved.
so I must move first.
Yeah, okay, good. Oh, so I have the best movement rate in
Yes.
this turn. Awesome.
So right now, the one who has advantage is him. So he's going last. So,
All right.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're using all of the movement phases this turn.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. What level are you sitting at there, homeboy?
Way fucking high. 62, and I just leveled out. So
You are actually only 2 levels above me. You are.
Huh, okay. I think cannon fire may be an
So
option.
I think I'm gonna need to move into climb 1.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to move 2 levels high. That means I can move 6 hexes forward. Oh, you bastard.
Yep. I am 1 hex away.
You know what? How much? I think for level flight, I think it's every 2 levels counts as 1 hex.
Yeah.
So even if I had gone that 1 hex forward, the 2 levels would have made up for that. Well, you go.
For 0 movement points, I can roll 2 slices worth. This will put me in a 45-degree turn and get me more turning things. But funny enough, guess what's going to happen? I'm at level flight. I have a throttle 6. Watch the magic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're passing each other. I'm at a 45-degree turn. And doing that, I just gained 6 times 4 because I'm at a 45-degree turn. I'm a higher altitude bracket, so my rating went from 2 to 3. So I gained 4 per hex, 24. I can turn next turn, but not effectively.
Well, I don't think I'll be birding you, because I think you have to be in my front cone. Right?
Yeah, I'm kind of passing you right now. This is how you say "f you" to really good strategy. Is by not
both
being there.
Are
It's
we
like,
at the
yeah.
same level?
Well, you came to my level, so yes, we're passing. We can literally see each other out the window. Yeah. The Russian bird meets the Finnish bird in midair.
What's his altitude at, anyways?
It is at 60, I believe. Yeah, he's at 60 still. You're sitting at what?
69.
Oh, I have to sit him up to a climb as well. So, if I do a level 1 climb for 3 levels, I can move 6 hexes forward. Okay, so you are 6 levels above me. Which means you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes out. Hey, guess what is gonna happen?
What happened?
Bert.
Wait, so you're pointed up at him?
I'm pointed up at him, and he is not pointed up at me. You're climbing. I'm also climbing, but you're
Actually,
higher.
I'm level.
Oh, you're leveled out?
Yeah. That happens after the Immelman.
Oh, yes, it does. So you can shoot at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can shoot at someone who is no more different in levels than you are in hexes. And
Okay.
you are.
2 hexes away.
Oh wait, no, you're 6 hex. You're 6 levels up, aren't you?
I would have to be pointing down.
Yeah. So you're not. You're close, but not. I'm gonna say I am at a front. So I am a cannon type B, as in Bravo.
B. What's your range? How many hexes? 3?
The range is 6 right now because I'm accounting for the height as well.
Ah. Well, you use probability type 8 on that probability chart
From a front,
from the front.
cannon type Bravo, hexes. I have probability chart 8.
Is there a modifier from the front here or no? I don't see one.
So-
You then are going to roll and look for a 3 or a 7 to hit your craft. Oh boy.
Or a 3 or a 7 to hit.
Probability to hit at that range is
Oh, wait,
8.
so it is probability to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
So just like the other one's probability of failure, this one's probability to hit.
What's the damn difference then?
The
Yeah,
difference
roll for a 3 or a 7. That hits the plane.
Yeah, whereas before a 3 or a 7 was bad, it would have been bad. This time a 3 and a 7 is good. 3 or 7,
Shit.
Holy shit! You actually hit.
I birded him.
Here's the bad problem. You have type B cannon, right?
Yes.
Look at this. Look at this chart.
What the hell does
chart-
this chart mean?
Has EF. I think the EF means that eliminated fighter. So if you roll an EF result, you actually eliminate the bastard. You actually just tear up the MiG-21. Otherwise, you do this many damage points to the aircraft. So let's see what you get. You get to roll a first die, and then a second dice that's different.
So me.
Yes.
So first die
Yeah.
is a 3,
Okay.
is a 2.
Lucky bastard. You're one step away from being eliminated, and you said took 4 points of damage.
Okay.
The MiG-21 should have more than 4 hit points.
Yeah, I
Flying
only
down.
have 4 left.
So you have 8 total, and you took 4.
Yeah.
So your plane's been shot up. You had took half your hit points, right?
Yep.
Those loaded characteristics that happen, they're in the bottom of the page, now take effect.
Okay.
So that's how you take damage. Your flight parameters get worse by those. So Canon Combat has occurred, and we've seen the MiG-21 get shot by the Su-15. Only in Finland, guys.
Okay, I also go down 1 on my weapons track because I can only shoot that 3 more times.
Yeah,
Roll initiative.
Okay.
let's see about it. You rolled better last time. Go for
So
it.
where does it say how much damage we have or how many hits?
It's called damage capacity. I have 11, which is weird because I shouldn't be as tough as a Russian aircraft.
Ooh.
Maybe I should have rolled 9 versus 2. Yeah, I think you get the initiative this time, Mr.
no.
Russia.
Okay, so
I have to throttle all the way down to 5.
we are both, neither you and I are at advantage or disadvantage, so I'm going to have you go first.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to still try to do what I was originally going to do. Look up a split S for me because I'm going to spend 1 point to completely invert.
You were still climbing, weren't you?
No, I'm level.
Oh, you're level
After the Immelman, I am level.
Yeah, he needs to dive. Push through a certain kind of dive.
Okay.
So, you
Sorry,
need to-
I
so let me show you on the...
never.
it's easier-
I might not be able to pull this off because I'm reading.
Oh, because of your loaded characteristics?
Because rolling 1 or 2 points costs 1 movement point. And so, to roll completely over, I'd have to spend 3 points to roll completely over. I think somebody.
Well, look at your loaded characteristics. Your loaded characteristics may modify that.
I looked for anything saying I couldn't do a no type 3 dives, may not exceed maximum throttle, climb no type 3 climbs, acceleration have all acceleration allowances, turn mode.
Oh, so you can't type 3 dive. A type 3 dive is required to do a push through. So that damage prevented you from doing a good dive. It's about time for you to break off and go home, dude.
Okay.
You got birded.
You may want to survive this one as opposed to try to be a hero, but if you want to be a hero, you can try to anti-hero the opponent.
Well, they're out of missiles, and yeah. I'm just going to do this. 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm going to rock into a Type 2 climb.
Well, if you can get some missiles in the ass of one of them, you could probably scare the other off.
I have a little problem with that. On my ability to turn, I hate to say it, in this game it's easier to pull a split S or an Immelman than it is to actually turn your aircraft. So you've almost picked your line, and you're going whoop, flip, whoop, flip, whoop, flip, flipping back and forth like that instead of turning. So, because in this game you could go to 45 degrees and gain those points, but gaining the points faster doesn't do too much for you. Well, think about it. I gained all the points of movement in this little maneuver I did here, but I'll be able to turn and point this way as opposed to point this way. A very small turn for what I pulled off. As far as
I'm saying, go split S, come back around, drop missiles.
we're at the same level. We're literally this is literally what we look like.
We're flipping each other off.
If I drop, I'm under him. If I rise, I'm above him.
Yeah, but your missiles can rise as well.
If I have a lock,
They're
I have to see his butt, and if I can flip, he can
Yeah.
flip.
The heat-seeking missiles have to see your rear end or like your rear side.
I know, but I'm saying he just needs to move forward a bit, split S, and just never mind.
A split S or an Immelman so I can drop missiles would be a good idea.
That's what I was
If
trying
I
to
permit him to do so.
Yeah, assuming he goes in a straight line and does not turn. Your guys' attitude is level flight too, right? My attitude is level flight. Your attitude is level flight too, right?
No, I'm at a climb.
What kind of climb?
Just a climb 1.
Okay.
That's going to change here soon.
And he has to get to a climb 3 to do the Immelman. And if you're at level flight, your plane's about or can roll about as well or good as my bird could, which means you could split S and drop missiles. Because doing the Immelman you won't be able to get to that this turn, but a split S you might be able to.
Yeah, but I'd be lower than him. He's already in a climb though, so he could essentially outclimb and out Immelman me before he gets to that point. He'll be much higher than I would be going low. Everybody's moving. We're ready for new initiative, right?
I guess so. Then yeah, okay.
Just a little bit behind as always. Neither of us are advantaged or disadvantaged. Neither of us are advantaged or disadvantaged.
So all your planes and my planes.
Let's see here. I'm going to move 5, 2, 3, and then turn 1.
So at the start of my turn, I can go to throttle 7. Move 3 hexes forward and be in a type 1 climb for 2 levels. Because I'm a level flight, right? I have to go to level 1 first, right? The type 1 climb, 6 hexes forward, 2 levels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So I can actually make a turn here. Having a turn to level flight, I think it's immediate. So I've gained a lot of maneuver points. I could turn here in the near future. I can turn here. And I go up 2 levels as well. Did you move already?
Yeah.
I moved already.
Yeah, I have to move both my planes. So
Go for it.
So we're going at a climb 2 at medium level. 4, 5. Adding 25 to my 5 degrees, which will turn me 1 facing. I don't like having you guys that way. That makes me a little bit nervous.
Don't worry. The good news is that you can't missile shoot us, so you have to actually get closer to us.
I guess that's the end of that, isn't it?
I guess it's initiative time. Go for it. Please roll better than I.
Roll better than that. You did.
6. Yeah.
What's your elevation at?
I went to 64 now. I'm climbing slowly.
Him, on the other hand, he's going to go to a climb 3. 1, 2. And no, this is not where I want to be. Down there was where I wanted to be.
You're actually not as good at high altitudes, but you
Oh.
can climb.
I can climb, but maneuverability is a problem up here.
Whereas the Draken is starting to get better and better the higher I climb. Gee, it must be why I started doing it.
That's it for them. Now you do yo.
I'm going to go into a type 2 climb. 2 hexes forward. 1, 2. And congratulations, we gain how many levels? It's a nice healthy 4 levels of altitude. So
Once you reach 100, you're at medium high. Or 101's medium high.
I'm not quite that good yet. The place where the dragons like to play.
I'm going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will move up 1.
Forever.
I went up mostly this turn. I'm in a type 2 climb. So what are you guys up to? Anybody
No,
else?
I already moved.
You moved? New initiative, I think, if you moved already. Did the MiG-21 move?
Yeah, I moved.
Yeah.
Now you guys had to move me.
Go for it. The MiG-21 has moved, we can go. Oh, man. The Finns don't have any initiative this turn. It's like these are the newbie Finns. This is like the new guys going, hey, we found 2 Russians and we're dicking around with them out here.
So I am now at angle 2, the max angle I can do.
Uh-huh. Don't worry, I'll get this taken care of for you.
So let's see here. 5, I can move 2. 1, 2. And I move up by 3.
So why would you do a pull through without doing an Immelman? So is a pull through like you come up and then?
Yeah, a pull through can be done just so you can face vertical.
So it's I'm going up and then I would come up like this essentially, right?
No, you're going straight up. You can then level out and perform an actual S instead of a split S.
I can make an Immelman after being in a Type 3 climb for 2 turns, which feels like forever right now.
I'm going to move then. 1, 2. Bitch. Face forward.
Has Alex moved?
So I'm now moving vertical.
Okay.
I have literally gone up 2 levels. No, 5 levels, but 2 hexes forward.
So Bobski is going to be going into level flight. Funny enough, my turn is actually better up here. And I'm going to remain level flight, have to remain banked. 2, 3, 4, 5. So at 5, my facing changes. And 1, 2. And you continue climbing, motherfucker.
Over here in this corner of the board, we have the SU-15s dangerously encountering their control sheet as they're deciding, I want to maneuver on the board, but have no space on the board to do so with.
Need to move
And
2.
the Finns over here are just dicking around. So here's the entire action point of the board.
Yep, I'm creeping up to where I don't want to be with him. Roll initiative, I guess.
Oh
God.
shit. Almost!
Good try.
Almost! Just 1 point behind. He rolls a 12. We're obligated to roll an 11. Anyway, so here we are. We have these Fliggins just flagging around over here. The Draken hasn't been a very threatening monster, and the MiG-21 is the only guy who has suffered this game, unless you want to count missile failure, in which case there's been a lot of missile failure on the Russian side. We haven't shot.
Nope.
We still got our ammunition. And we can't figure out how to get those guys to show their butts to us. The funny thing is, I can kind of do it. Did we lose initiative? I get to go first?
Yes, you guys have to go first.
You first? Yeah, you move first, dude. Go for it.
1, 2. Ooh, and I raise another 3.
You're just trying to climb even with your downsides, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even with your damage points?
With your, was it your,
The loaded characteristics,
loaded
yeah.
characteristics.
Loaded
I'm also at
characteristics.
16 turn points. Just
You're
letting
halfway
every-
there.
Yeah.
Ooh, living on a prayer. I'm going to be making an Immelman with my Type 3 turn. So I'm going to be doing, I have 2 points, so I'm going to go 1 forward, to your right first, right?
Yep.
And then we get to turn however many damn hexes, right? And then spend the maneuvers, which at this point, oh look, we spend, no wait. Yeah, we still spend it. We just turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to completely zero myself around.
Well, alright then.
So I return to level flight at the very top of that Cobra. God knows the Draken could actually do that, just not in this rule set very accurately. Turning, like I said, using the Immelman technique, because apparently actual turning in this game takes forever.
Also, if it could actually pull off the Cobra, depending on what you're trying to do, that could actually have some interesting side effects, because the Cobra massively slows you down.
Yes, and the enemy overshoots you. That's one thing they show in a lot of like Top Gun and a lot of air combat movies, is the idea of you decelerate to get behind your opponent. No, that doesn't very commonly happen. That's a Cobra maneuver, and you have to be above your opponent, and you get the idea. That doesn't happen all the time. Very few aircraft can do it. This, the Flanker series, the F-22 can do it. If I understand, the F-35 cannot do it.
I haven't looked into that.
The F-35 doesn't have true thrust vectoring. It has that weird nozzle in the back instead.
It's climbed so much.
You've climbed so far.
Well, looks like I'm facing off against a dirt.
What level are you at again?
80.
Oh, you're above me.
Yeah, well, okay, he's at 80, he's at 89, and he's sitting at 75.
We kind of got to an impasse point where the Soviets had almost nothing to work with, and we had a difficult time trying to get behind the opponent, because the opponent could just flip right around, right? So having a problem getting behind the opponent so we could actually shoot at him at the right altitude. Game pretty much ends with, I guess, a tie with some slight damage on the Finn side, but the Soviets lacking ammunition to do anything more.
I guess it depends on how you guys would have behaved, because because he was going to be a hero. If he wanted to keep going out, they were going to come shoot the Draken down. That's what I was coming around to do, was to finish you off.
Yep,
because
I
we
saw
already
that.
damaged him.
I
so-
saw that.
I was turning around just in case that they got into some weird turn fight, that I could have gotten a pot shot off at them with my missiles, but that was my hope, was that if they did start tangoing, that you'd be enough bait them open up to a shot.
Oh, heck yeah. I felt like we started to learn the game system and it started actually running, but there were still some very severe limitations I was working on. You guys have seen aircraft footage. It only takes a couple of seconds for a jet fighter at decent, like 400, 500 mile per hour speeds, right, to whip around. I mean, even if they're at a higher speed, I know it takes up more distance, but they can pretty much do that in a couple of seconds. You would think these guys could actually turn. And we weren't doing extremely high speeds. I mean, a hex movement rate of 7 was like my standard, like 6 or 7.
Technically, I was operating at maximum speed the entire time.
Yeah, me too. I had my throttle leaning on, and I wasn't, I mean, we weren't like breaking the speed of sound either. Like, I think the speed of sound in this game is like a turn rating of 8 or 9. I think it is. And so we were under that development, and we should have been able to actually, you know, get a turn in of some variety, but we weren't. I was thinking earlier it was the scale of the map. There's a definite weird thing with how we accumulate turning points in this game. I was really feeling like turning in this game. I like the idea of having the 12-point turn, but my God, it's difficult to try to actually get those points to actually accumulate so you can turn.
I think that is an issue with the era that this game was developed. I think not very much information was actually leaked out, because you didn't have, if I recall, back then the internet was in its absolute infancy.
Oh yeah, they had like Jane's All the World's Aircraft at most to work on,
yeah,
and a few other things that were mentioned in magazines or reports. You had to have your finger in the defense industry to know stuff like this.
Yeah, so I do not believe that this stuff is incredibly accurate. Would I play this game again? Abso-freaking-lutely. As this game's initial detractor, I actually think I would gladly play this game again with modifications. I actually think, and I know that I initially said that it is overly complex. It is not. It is overly explained.
It's presented like shit.
Yes.
This game has a really bad presentation value.
Like, if they had hidden a lot of the unnecessary explanation, and really, like, organization of the rulebook was god-awful as well.
Oh yeah, and the fact that it's in 3 different parts, they could put a lot of this shit in the primary rule book. Like they have the anti-aircraft installations in the main rule book. No, put the cannons and missiles in there, damn it.
Or the fact that they were like including optional rules in the primary rules. It's just split up.
Yeah.
And I think that's a function. I think that's a function of not knowing what aircraft were capable of.
Yeah.
Also, most aircraft, from what I've seen and experienced in some simulators, and from what I've seen on...
I go to air shows all the time, so I see this shit happening.
Aircraft can roll really easily. I have not really seen an aircraft that struggles to roll. So getting in...
Bombers. Bombers struggle to roll.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I haven't seen fighters that have struggled to get into rolls.
I think that's probably what my confusion was, that rule that they have where they're saying like rolling takes movement allowance. Rolling, as far as I'm aware, and I'm not a pilot, right? Rolling, as far as I'm aware, is part of your forward momentum. Yeah. But this game is good. In fact, if we wanted to make modifications, I'm not sure if we do. I think there's better games nowadays that I could play. Yeah. But if some grognard came up to me and said, I only play Air War, I'd be like, dude, I have Su-15s.
Yeah.
My first thoughts on it when we were learning it was that it fell into the same category as Starfleet Battles and was needlessly complex. Once you like Starfleet Battles, and once you do get going with it, it's a lot easier than it seems, but I still think that complexity was still on the high end.
Fuck Starfleet Battles.
That's a game, I can't make a video about it because it's technically not dead. Here's the thing, it's not a dead games video, it's a battle report. Battle reports don't have to be dead games.
But it helps that this one was dead.
Oh yeah, this is both. A battle report. This is even better than a battle report for a dead game. It is a miniature adaptation of a chit game that we played as if it was a miniatures game. As far as Air War goes, it is now going into the bin of history. I'm sure everybody who wants to play air combat games is either going to pick up a simpler game or a computer game to play it. So Air War doesn't have a future. Unless you find a grognard who really loves playing this, and they're probably going to want to play with the chits instead of miniatures on a hex map. Which is sad, because if I have a choice between playing a hex-n-chit game and playing with minis, I'm going to play with frickin' minis.
I don't know a person that's so grognardy that he would be like, nah, you brought that nicely painted miniature, get that shit off my table. Obviously, mind you, if he's using the original map sheet, that's no way that's
Get my A10 Warthog. Let's talk about miniatures. Could you turn down this miniature?
Turn that down.
Try turning this boy down. Yeah, I don't want to play with this guy on the table. This is just a horrible, ugly miniature, and I don't want to see it. Yeah, that guy can go fuck himself. This is... I spent just a little bit of time painting it, but it turned out great. I love having minis, and I love playing with them, and it's it's a part that makes gaming different. Hex-n-chit was so old-fashioned. It was cheap to produce. You could do a lot of stuff with it because everything that you were making was just a cardboard piece. So you could do a lot with it. But miniatures really brought life into gaming, and I think made gaming last longer. Had gaming stayed in the hex-n-chit phase, we would not have gotten the fun stuff we have in gaming nowadays. So this was our battle report. It was a very sham battle. I mean, it was mostly just dumping ammunition and watching it fail. But yeah, this is our battle report for Air War as a miniatures war game. And in the future, we will have more visitations into games in ways people don't expect as an attempt to breathe life into old games. So yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great one.